right, so we're about to start building this bumper for the dually, right? The rear bumper, it's been something I've been putting off for a while because I know it's gonna require a lot of effort, but the good news is we have the CNC table that's gonna help us out a lot. It's gonna really cut down the cutting time, if you will, hopefully by a lot. Anyway, so before I get started, I've got a bunch of stuff here that's gonna help me with this build. Obviously, number one, I've got my whiteboard here with everything that I'm gonna need written out on it. I also have my computer and my work table here to like help me with some designing work and some prefab stuff. And I also have some reference photos from other rear bumpers that I think look good. I'm gonna take aspects of one and then another one from here and then maybe some aspects from this one over here, and I'm gonna kind of put them all together and make my own bumper, hopefully, from that. And I also have an absolute metric fuck ton of cardboard, which I'm gonna need too, because that's how we're going to pre-assemble our bumper using CAD, cardboard assisted design. You're thinking to yourself, Dan, you really handled that first bumper quite well, right? If you wanna watch those, the links are in the description to check that one out when I made the first bumper originally. The difference being that this is much thicker metal. I think I made the front bumper out of 16 gauge, maybe 14 gauge steel, not exactly the most heavy duty. Today we're working with 3/16 and some 1/4 inch on a lot of stuff. And that's obviously gonna add more weight, but it's gonna be better built, heavier duty stuff. It'll be a much nicer bumper, which is already thankfully loaded up on my plasma cutting table. Don't ask me how we got it up there. The thing weighs almost 300 pounds. It's a big 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of steel. You know, it's huge. And the other major difference being that the rear bumper mounts a little bit differently than the front bumper. I can't use the square tube like I did last time because we have the tow hitch in the way, and we'll get all into that here in a little bit. But yeah, so that's basically my setup. But as you guys can see right now, I have the tow hitch just kind of hanging. I use some straps to hold it in place. I'm doing this by myself. This thing is very heavy, weighs a ton. For the mock-up, I just need to kind of hold it in place. I use the cardboard to kind of help make my brackets, and then from building the actual bumper from there, I think that's gonna be the best way to tackle it. So first we're gonna do the mounts, and then we're gonna start working on the actual design of the bumper. The way the tow hitch mounts to the actual truck itself, the tow hitch just kind of bolts up underneath the frame itself, and you just send bolts through here. In the back here as well, I think there's 3 bolts. I plan to basically just take my bumper mounts, I'm gonna build some bumper mounts, where it will slide in between the bottom of the frame rails and the top of the tow hitch, and it will also bolt in from the side. I think this is gonna be the most effective way to mount this to where I can access everything and it'll still be nice and strong. And my thought process is if the tow hitch is strong enough to just bolt up to the bottom of this, I think that the bumper is going to be too, especially since it's just a bumper, you know, it's not where you're gonna be towing from. So I'm gonna put a piece of cardboard in between here and go ahead and start up the mocking process. So let's get started with that. All right, so I got my Photoshop program up here, and we're gonna make this really simple and easy for you guys to understand. For me, this is the part that I'm the best at, is converting a basic object like this into numerical data to input into a program. It's very simple, you just do some measurements, right? Let's do a general measurement of this. It looks like 3 1/4 inch here by 8 1/4. That's gonna be our starting size, right? I'm gonna keep this pretty brisk because I don't think this is the most enjoyable part of this process for everybody else. Probably my favorite part, it's the easiest for me, but I get why other people would not enjoy this. So we're gonna start out by creating a new object. Make sure we do everything in inches. So now we have the starting process of our item. Now we just need to put the holes in it. Let's figure out how big the holes are, the entire thing, you know, kind of deal. Let's figure out what our, all right, looks like our first hole is 3/4 inch. We'll just make it a little bit bigger than 3/4 to make sure that the bolts that we get will fit through. Looks like we want to start our hole about a little less than 1/4 inch from the bottom. So we'll start at there. Just negative space, delete that, fantastic. Now we need to do the long hole. So we need to figure out the distance between here and here, and then we also need to figure out the distance between here and here, and we also need to figure out the distance between here and here. Yeet. So the distance between the center of the eye here and the start of the elongated hole is about 3 1/2 inches. So we're gonna do a 3 1/2 inch space between here, and then we're also gonna do the same diameter hole, just elongated. Drop it down about 3 1/2, okay? We'll delete that part. Now we need to figure out where the end of the hole is. About 2 inches. We'll make it 2 inches. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of blow through this part because I don't think it's that entertaining. I'm just using a lot of references. If you guys are really interested in this more in-depth process, I'll make a video dedicated specifically to how I do it. You know, I don't really think it's the right way to do it, but it's the way I do stuff. Cut out the negative space in between the 2 holes. Boom. So now we have our elongated hole. And then finally, the big round hole at the bottom. 1.5 by 1 3/8 inches. So I'm just gonna do a square 1.5 hole. How about that? Does it start in relation to the edge of here? Looks like it's about, and what I'm gonna do is, since this is a square on my screen, I'm gonna go ahead and make that a, like kind of like a rounded square like it is here. It's like a square with rounded circle edges. So all I'm gonna do is modify that by about 80 pixels. And there we go. All right, if I am correct, this should basically mate up accurately with the underside of the tow hitch and the underside of the frame rails. I am gonna be welding this to another plate that hangs out on the side. So I'm gonna make some tabs that will fit, it'll fit together like a puzzle piece. That way it's correct every time. I can 90 degree it. It's gonna be weird to explain, but you guys will understand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make 2 little tabs that can extend out about 1/4 inch. And then when it comes time to make the other plate, all I'll have to do is just match those up. But there is our first mounting bracket. I'm not gonna cut this out just yet. I've got more stuff I'm gonna design in cardboard first, and we'll keep moving back and forth. That way, when we go to mount everything up and weld everything, it'll be all just one piece, hopefully. All right, I think we've got a general idea of the size of the step up for the bumper. It seems kind of high, right? That's pretty high for a fucking bumper. Well, look how tall the truck is. I'm barely taller than the bed, man. Barely, on a good day with lift in my shoes. Anyway, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make the mounting supports in order to sit the rest of the bumper on this. That way I can get a little bit more accurate measurements. You know, I'm kind of just holding it with tape. That's okay, but I need something more stable underneath it, and I gotta cut the mounts out anyway. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so I got my parts loaded up here in my plasma cutting program, and all we gotta do is cut it. It's ready to go. I did my best to articulate them to where they won't take up as much space as possible, you know? We only have so much metal we're working with here, and I don't really feel like spending the money on getting another sheet, so we gotta really make this count. We only have so much room to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out our first test of example brackets. Hopefully they cut good. This is actually the thickest steel I've cut on this machine too. Nice and slow though, man. Dang, look at that arc go. God, I love this machine. No grinders, no fucking cutting wheels. Just math. Math and buttons. The machine's like, I got it. I got the work for you. Good talk. Let's see how we did. I could have made those just fit a little bit closer together to have less wasted space, but not bad. Will these? Oh, I love math. I love math so much. Something you never thought you'd hear someone like me saying that shit. Let's go fit it up on the truck and see if it works, and then we'll tack it. All right, so we got our 2 pieces here. The first one will go like so. Oh man, are you shitting me? How good is it? Oh, can we test it, make sure the bolts are gonna go right through it too? I love doing this type of fabrication, not doing things by hand, doing things by mind. All right, so first things first, our hole, as you can see, lines up really well with that big hole. And then the bolts, our bolt holes line right up perfectly. That bolt goes right in there, it goes right into the hole. Second bolt goes through no problem. And then the holes line up. Excellent job. Make sure you guys thumbs up that shit. All right, so now we just gotta test and see how this plate lines up, which I have a feeling it's, you know, classic is as classic does. That's how that'll go. Like that. We'll 90 degree that. I am pretty gosh darn happy about that. I think what I'm gonna do is I might have to recut this particular piece when it comes time to make it more accommodating for the bumper shape. I might do that by hand. I kind of had to do this in order to get the bumper in place for the designing aspect of stuff. I know that doesn't really make any sense, but like it's just what we gotta do. At least that's how it works in my mind. Let's cut another one and then tack it up. Oh wow, did I really not record it? Well, I cut out a second set, so cool. Ah, damn. Damn it. Knew that was gonna happen. It's okay. That's why I tacked it so weakly. All right, let's go test fit them. All right, I've translated this thing and did my best here, and everything lines up. It did a better job than the first time, but this thing's about 77 inches wide, about 14 3/4 deep, giggity. So we should import this to our program, convert it to a DXF file, and then the program should cut it no problem, and then we'll see how good of a job we did. I can really only afford to fuck this up once, maybe twice. All right, this is it. I hope that this works. Here's my dimensions, 77 1/4, 14 1/4 depth, and I've got the machine zeroed out to where it's gonna kind of circle around those parts that I already cut. So let's hope this is the biggest piece that I've cut so far. It is big. Brag about my math a little bit, converting this into a metal, you know, like, I mean, pretty fucking spot on. We had a little bit of bowing here. The cardboard got a little wet, but the math is still good. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Look how good that math is. Tell me that I ain't the fucking best dude out there. Come on, bro. First try, single cut. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness, brother. Oh my goodness. I have to micro adjust it, but yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it when I do this, where I impress myself. It happens so very rarely. And just to kind of, don't fuck with me, I got that math. And this, I went ahead and put this on to make sure everything still lined up good. Rhino hitch. Man, these guys gave me their Rhino hitch in SEMA of 2019, right before COVID hit. And I have been waiting since then to put this thing on. But look at that. That thing is gonna look gnarly sticking out from underneath that bumper. All right, so now it's time to design the rest of the bumper. We have the top step plate, which is great. That's gonna give us our profile, but we need to actually do the designing process of it. For me, it was kind of like, where do you start, right? And obviously you got to get the mounts before you can mount the bumper, which is what I focused on. But now that I got that, now I got the step plate, it's time to do the designing process. I thought about this a little bit. There's a couple ways I could do it. I could straight down it and make it like a square 90 degrees, and that would, you know, make space pretty efficient here. But I'm thinking that because this is a dually, it's a big truck, right? I want a big bumper. I think I might add just a small designer bevel here to drop it down, maybe another 1.5 inches, 2 inches. It'll kind of at a 45-degree cock down, and then it'll go straight down. And that is gonna make our bumper really big as far as like depth. That'll probably put us close to like a 10.5, 11-inch bumper depth-wise. That's fucking big, right? You may not think it's big, you know, nobody ever said 10 inches isn't big, is all I'm saying. But what's that about? That's about 10 inches right there, right? That's a DOITWITHDAN 10 right there. For style purposes, I think instead of just dropping it straight down, which would be easy, I mean, it'd be very easy to do that, just add a little bit more flair. So I'm gonna go here at a 45-degree angle, and then we'll drop it. And I think it'll also look better with the tow hitch, because we'll have the badass Rhino hitch installed. As long as the bumper comes down and stops before the actual hitch, I think we'll be fine. You know, I could build this a lot smaller, but since this is a dually, it's gotta match the truck, right? I'm gonna go and take this out though, because I know I'm gonna rack my knee on that, and that's gonna be the end of DOITWITHDAN. I cannot handle a shattered kneecap on top of a destroyed ankle, you know? Like, that would fucking kill me. I'm gonna do some test pieces. Let's do some tests and see how that looks. So there I was, doing work, when this crackhead lady interrupts my work process. Dude, this lady did all sorts of weird shit. She came in asking to use my bathroom, and I was like, I don't really know. And she's like, oh, I work with this guy in the same building as you, same building area as you, so can I please use your bathroom? And obviously I'm not gonna deny an older lady the ability to use a bathroom. That's fucking dick, right? But in the process, I hear all these banging and clattering and whatnot. It sounds like she was in there messing with my toilet, so I bang on the door. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And she's like, hold on. She was washing her fucking pots and pans in my sink and stole my fucking soap. Dude, it was nuts. And she just kept coming back. I decided to blur her face in this situation, but I do have her on video if she ever comes back. I don't normally call people crackheads, but this lady was certainly doing crackhead activities. So enjoy. I gotta get back to work. Do it.
You beat my ass earlier.
Do it. What the fuck? All right. So I'm having a tough time here with my next steps, only because I'm not sure which way I want to pursue. So on one side, instead of having any sort of articulation, it goes straight 90 degrees, straight down, maybe even tucks in a little bit. Matter of fact, definitely tucks in a little bit. I like the way that looks. On the other hand, which is like a beveled substep, I guess. I don't know what else to describe it as. I like both of these designs, and I'm having a hard time deciding. Obviously, this is the simpler side, right? This is gonna be way easier. It's gonna, because it's less metal. It's less pieces you gotta cut. It's much easier to do it like this. This side, on the other hand, I think looks pretty good. I hope you guys can understand my quandary here. All right, after deliberations with Laura, we agreed that the left side is a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, but better looking. I think that's the one we're gonna go with here. So this is gonna be, instead of it being 1, 2, 3 pieces, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Alright, this was my first mess up. It's pretty simple. I didn't calculate the 90-degree difference between a 90-degree and a 95-degree. In this angle, it's very simple, I just messed up. I also didn't account for the light bar cutouts and what angle they needed to be at, so I had to re-angle those as well. My first fuck up. Have you been involved in an accident where you got hit, or maybe you hit somebody, you know, insurance took you through a ride on that? You could be entitled to some money. Isn't that right, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Jordan Wooten. I own Wooten Umpire and Appraisals. I'm an appraiser. I do diminished value, do actual cash value, appraisals to combat other insurance companies' lower estimates. If you've been in an accident and you have the vehicle repaired and it's not a total loss, you're entitled to something called diminished value. You get in an accident, let's say I hit Dan. I'm out in the parking lot, I drive into Dan. We're both entitled to diminished value reviews. An insurance company will make that offer after the vehicle is repaired, and it will be a significantly lower offer than what you're entitled to. That's where I come in. I do a report that displays what the vehicle was worth before the accident happened and what the vehicle was worth after the accident, which could have been a $25 offer or a $0 offer or a $500 offer. My report could say $4,000, $8,000, $12,000, just depends on the year, make, and model. The best part about my report is what it comes with additionally, which is a guarantee. My guarantee states that if I don't get you at least what the insurance company offered you, plus the fee that you pay me, or more, I refund you 100% of the money. I either get you more money or I give you all of your money back.
But Jordan, I've been in an accident in the last 4 years and I've already had insurance pay me for diminished value, and it was only like $500. Am I screwed?
No, you're not screwed. So if you were in an accident 4 years ago, I'll review it. All the reviews of diminished value cases are free. I can still help you on diminished value, even though you've cashed that check. So most people think, oh, well, they sent me a check, that's all I'm getting, that's it. No, that's not all you're getting. Additionally, you might have even sold the car. It's not yours anymore, it belongs to somebody else. You can go back and still get more money on that vehicle. That payment goes directly to you. Let's say it's $50,000. That $50,000 goes to you. I don't take a percent, I don't take anything out of the payment.
One-time fee.
If I can't help you, and at the end of it, I do all the work, I do the report, and I still can't help you, full refund. Whatever you pay me is full refund.
Jordan is a close personal friend of mine. I trust him wholeheartedly. This is literally what he does. He helps people get money. He's helped me out multiple times in my accidents. If you guys use coupon code DOITWITHDAN at checkout, or just let him know in the comment section that you saw him from my video, he'll give you $25 off of his appraisal price.
Yep, absolutely.
And it still comes with a 100% refundable guarantee.
Yep.
There's literally no downside to this.
I mean, it's just money laying on the table for you. It's in a drawer you didn't know about. Most people don't know about diminished value or what it is.
Consider it a recommendation from a personal friend. He can hook you up with that. I guarantee it. Contact him. His information's in the description. It's going to be in the description of all my videos from now on. So I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Want to do like a point at the camera and guarantee?
Or to say it comes with a guarantee.
It comes with a guarantee.
right, now we got the driver's side completely done. All we have to do is copy each piece, flip them orientation-wise, and weld them up together. This is the easy part. The hard part's over. We designed it, now all we have to do is cut them out and tack it all together. All right, so we got everything tacked up for the most part, you know, more or less. I also made these two little drainage holes thinking that, you know, if it starts raining and I'm on a hill or something like that and I don't want the water to pool, it can just go out these little holes. And I also made these mounting brackets that are gonna mount the bumper to my custom mounting plates that mount to the frame. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish tacking up the rest of the bumper, mount those, and then we'll do the actual welding and grinding process. Alright, it's time to weld. So I'm gonna weld the back up as best as I can, piece by piece, short bursts at a time, to keep as little warping as possible. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Dan, are you gonna show us our welds up close? Absolutely not, because this is the internet. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I don't care. Fight amongst yourselves. I did struggle with my welder quite a bit this round, actually. I think it was because it's a little bit thicker metal that I'm used to welding. I haven't welded in a very long time, so I'm still a little bit rusty. Not that it really matters, but that's my excuse. So there you go.
All right, so the last thing we need to do now, seeing how the bumper is built, is that we need to do hooks, because obviously, like, I gotta have tow hooks on the back, and they gotta have spots for the D-rings, these big holes here. They're about 1 inch in diameter. So I would like to cut some hooks to go on the back of the truck. However, there's two things that are going on here. Obviously, I'm gonna do a test cut here out of the 3/16 to make sure I'm happy with them, that way I can hold them. And I designed 2 separate hooks. They're a little bit different, and I wanna make sure that I go with the one that I want, right? That's part 1. Part 2 is the metal that I'm gonna be cutting, which is, this. This is a solid 1 inch thick of steel. I think this weighs somewhere around 30 pounds, give or take. It is heavy. It is, I mean, like, it is everything I got to hold this thing, right? That's 1 inch thick right there, boys, compared to my thumb thickness-wise. So this is what I'd like to cut the hooks out of. However, I don't know if the machine will do that thick. It says it will. It's got settings for it, which means it should, but I've never cut anywhere near that thick. If that doesn't work, I have a 1/2 inch thick. What I'll do is I'll cut out both hooks in the 1/2 inch thick, and that'll be our hooks. I think that's how I'll do it if it won't cut the inch, but it should, you know. So we're doing some experimenting today. Like I said, since we only have so much of that metal, this is expensive as shit, and I don't even know if it'll cut it. So I'm gonna do it out of the 3/16, like I said, as a test so I can hold and have tenure on the hooks, and we'll go from there. All right, everything looks good. So I really like the design of this hook. I think this one looks really clean. But this one is just beefier. Let's go put them up against the bumper and see what we like. So these are gonna go about here. I like that. I really like these. But I also really like these too. Like, these are clean and they have more meat to weld to. I really like that. I think that is obnoxious, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Obnoxiously big style hook. Throw this on the back of your mom's car, tow her all the way to McDonald's. Oof. Yeah, those look like they would take your knees off. Holy shit. All right, I think this is the hook that I like for the rear bumper. I think it fits a little bit better than the tall one, even though I think I like the design of this hook better. Like, overall, I think this hook is a better hook, but I think this design is more comparable for the rear. It looks a little bit more realistic. I think I'll save this hook design for something along the fronts of it, because it would be really beefy then. They do fit, but they need to be just a little bit bigger, the hole. I'm gonna exacerbate the hole just a little bit and go from there. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna upscale this whole thing by about 10%. All right, now in order to cut this big ass thick piece of metal, I have to do something I've not done before because I've never cut anything this thick before. So I'm switching out my nozzles. We're going from a 45 amp nozzle to a 65 amp nozzle. That should have enough power to cut it. So here's our 45 amp nozzle and here's our 65 amp nozzle. And you can't probably tell a difference because I'm not really sure what the difference is. So the way this goes in, if you guys give a shit, you get the end of your torch head here, and then you also have this little shield here, this internal gas shield. You always go nozzle first on the bottom because your tip could not fit properly, and it's really important that the nozzle and the diode itself both seat correctly first. So we're gonna crank that down pretty good. All right, now we should be good to go there. All right, let me remind you guys I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so now we have our hook imported to our program here, which is great, right? Ready to cut. We're only gonna do one at a time because if I fuck this up, I'm not gonna go spend $80 on metal again if I don't have to. So all we gotta do is select the right tool, right? Let's look at this. So right now in our tool sets, we do have a 5/8 steel, a 3/4, a 7/8, and a 1 inch. Once you get past 5/8, you have edge starts. Basically means that the nozzle has to start off the material in order to start cutting it first. So this will be really interesting. To have a very strong lead in. Oh shit. I just realized that this has got a circle in it. I don't know how that's gonna work. All right, I have no idea what I'm about to do because for anything this thick, it has to have an edge start supposedly, but I have a circle in here and I can't edge start it if I have a circle because there's no edge on a circle, right? Big brain here. So I'm just gonna try to see if this thing will pierce an inch. There's no way it will. Absolute zero way. But I'm gonna just kind of snake it up to the top. Let's see if this works. I doubt it's going to, and we might fuck shit up. 65 amp, 1 inch edge start. All right. 8 inches per minute. I don't think this might be really bad. All right, let's see if we can pierce an inch. All I need to do is pierce the circle. I don't really need it to do much else, so this is gonna be so bad. I don't know if it's working or not. Pretty sure that didn't work at all. Holy shit, it almost worked. Yikes, that's rough. And it absolutely splattered my nozzle. I think I'm gonna have to swap that out. It's ruined. Yep, okay. You live and you learn. Sometimes you gotta be told. So this is what happens when you try to pierce an inch with a 65 amp, and you cannot do that. We've got all this molten metal that's like completely destroyed my nozzle. We knew that was gonna happen, didn't we? We all said it. Oh shit, is this thing fucked too? This thing's fucked. Luckily, I had another one because I'm in business and I have consumables. Look at me go. So, new nozzle tip, new shield. So, matter of fact, the only thing that wasn't ruined is the diode. I think the diode's gonna still be good, so. All right, guys, let's just never do that again. Cool? Cool. All right, I'm still new to this, so careful if I'm stupid, but this is the hook. Now I've removed the back spacing. I think this'll eliminate the actual need for the holes. And if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna straight do them in 1/2 inch. I think this is gonna be my attempt on this. So we have the tangent where it starts just slightly off the plate. Hopefully this will work. Let's find out. All right, I've got it where it's just barely hanging off the metal. That should still help with the torch height controller, but it should start off the metal. So. So fucking loud, holy shit. Oh my God. I couldn't get the ISO low enough. Dude, you know that thing probably is like 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Yo, it is still scalding hot, my dude. I did not think that was gonna work. I was really ready to give up. How am I gonna even get it out? My question is, do you think it'll just come right out? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Absolutely not. Oh, it's a little welded to the table, I see. Holy shit. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out. The whole back of it looks like it's blown out like bubble gum. Look at the back, dude. What is this? What in the Chernobyl elephant's foot is that? There it is. Oh, shit, yeah. Look at this beefy motherfucker. Whoa! Jesus, bro. Okay, so like, in order for this to be like the viable option, it does need a little bit of cleaning up. It's relatively clean on the cut side, but the negative side, it's not as clean. But now that I have this thing cut out, and I'm looking at it here against the bumper, I'm kind of realizing just how unnecessary and out of place they look with how thick they are. So I think I'm just gonna do them out a 1/2 inch. All that work and unsureness for no. It almost just looks out of place, you know? Yeah, I just don't think that those are necessary, especially on a bumper this big. So I think I'm just gonna do 1/2 inch. Looks fucking choice though, doesn't it? All right, so now I got my 1/2 inch plate loaded up. There was our inch. That's our 1/2 inch. We should be able to pierce this, no problem. The cool thing is that that other thing will become a sweet paperweight. I'm much happier with that, I think. I feel a little bit more comfortable running that. Seems a little bit more reasonable. I don't know why I didn't think that this would be good enough. This is perfect. I might even offer these on my website, like 1/2 inch weld on hooks. We'll see. It's gonna cost a fortune to make them. And on top of that, it's probably not gonna be cheap, but I could probably send them out, clean up the dross and send them out just like this with whatever size receiver you want. How about this? Let me know in the comments if you think that would be cool. If you guys want them, I'll offer them on the website. very happy with that. Welds are okay on that. I'm not gonna grind them or anything like that. I think they'll look even better once they're coated. Know that they're gonna hold. That's the only thing that matters. I really like those. I'm glad that I did not go with 1 inch. That was just a little bit too much. I think those look great. They mate right where the back of the bumper mounts mount to. So they're in line. When you pull on them, when you tug on them, giggity, they're gonna go directly to the frame. Very strong, I hope. We will find out, won't we? I'm gonna clean these up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go take it off to go get coated in bullet liner. The same stuff that's in the bed of my truck. Hold on, let me show you guys that. Yeah, this stuff right here, the bullet liner, not rhino liner. I did bullet liner, which this isn't sponsored. They just did a really good job, and I like the material. I'm gonna ask them not to do it as thick. This is about 1/4 inch thick on here. Plus, there's just a little bit of pitting here and there. Like I said, I was having trouble getting my welder settings dialed in 100%, but I think that the bullet liner is gonna cover up all those pits and whatnot, and this will look really good. God dang, am I really happy and proud of this thing. I really thought I did a good job on the front bumper, but no. Now I realize that I did a great job on the rear bumper and a pretty okay job on the front bumper. So, all right, let's go get it coated though.
All right, guys, and that is where we're going to end today's video. Dropping it off to get rhino lined, and you guys will see those results in the next video about the dually. We're very close to wrapping this thing up. I seriously have to do like 1 or 2 more things. It's almost not even worth me explaining, so I'm not gonna. But the next video is right around the corner. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.